G'day Year 12s, just coming to you guys today from down in our new paddock. What we've done so far since you guys have been gone is we've got in a small chisel plough. So what that chisel plough's got is what we call a sweep, okay, so a sweep foot on it. So what it is a large triangular plate, and what that does is sits on the end of our curly tine, and that triangular plate, what it'll do is work through our main clods and our furrows from where we just ploughed our little paddock here, okay, and we're just going to work to break those down and level those up. So what we've done is we've actually gone over this paddock twice. As you can see, it's fairly back down to a level, and you can see those little wrinkles in there just behind me. That's where those the tines have gone themselves, okay, and then the foot, okay, has pushed the dirt off to either side. So just what we're going to do today in this video, guys, is just have a little bit of a look at our dirt, have a look at our moisture, and have a look at why we've gone and ploughed it in this way. So understanding that our ploughing of this paddock is done because it's never been grassed down before, it's never been worked before, so it's got what we would call a really hard base, okay. It's been compacted by the cattle, and we need to try and loosen it up. It's going to allow us to get more moisture into that soil, okay, so when it rains it's a bit more permeable, allows the moisture to actually get down and hopefully assist our root system. Now, one way that we could have tried to sow this would be just a direct undersow, okay, so probably sprayed out the grass that was in here and then gone for an undersow. We might have got a germination, so to speak, so that initial growth, but what we'd have is a really hard, fairly clayey, under the soil, about 6 mil, 7 mil down, it got fairly hard, okay, and had a fairly clayey base, and we'd probably retard some of that root growth that we're looking for. So that's why we've gone about ploughing it. Hopefully that means that now, once we pasture it down, we won't need to have any more ploughing in this paddock. We'll be able to have a fairly good, solid profile of moisture there to keep up the grass growth, and then we'll look to go to a minimum till or a zero till system from there. So that's very similar to what we've done last year in our paddock behind me, okay, and as you can see, this paddock, was just love grass as well, and really struggling and couldn't get that growth. In the previous year, they tried to do that zero till growth and ended up with really poor root systems and didn't have a whole lot of soil health under it. So that's what we've done with the ploughing, and that's why I'm sort of a bit of a believer in it, and think it's going to try and work again in this one behind me again. So guys, I'll just bring the laptop over, and what we'll do is I'll put it down on the ground and we'll have a bit of a chat about some of the soil and the functions and structure of that soil as a growth medium for us and our grass. Okay, just came a little bit over into the paddock here for us, guys, and what we've got is basically our basic soil here. Now, we're on a fairly sandy piece of dirt, so what that means is it breaks up fairly quickly, even with moisture in it. So as you can see, it's got plenty of moisture, but it's just falling through my hands there. Okay, when I grip and drop, okay, it holds together somewhat, like that clump there, but generally breaks up. Fairly high sand base, especially at the top. What happens though is once you get down into that soil, it gets down onto that hard clay base, so only about the first, 500 mils is fairly sandy, and then you go down onto that clay base. So hopefully we've broken through that sort of plough pan, it would be, to try and get into some nice loose soil. So we've got a fairly good moisture profile here. If I can dig down and measure it, and I'll show you what I'm doing. Digging to try and find how far we go before we hit dry soil, and there it is there. Now I've got my ruler, so I can measure that for you. Okay, so we have 150 mil, I can't see that, 150 mil of moisture there before you worry about getting down onto harder, drier dirt. So that's going to be enough for us to plant our oats, because we're only going to plant that at about 25 mil deep, okay, and we'll use a scatter cast planting technique on that one. So super and the oat seed in the fertiliser box, okay, spread it on, and then we'll just use that chisel plough just to cover that seed over nice and gentle. Okay, what we'll do from there is hopefully we've got enough moisture in our soil that it'll be able to get a germination, a really good shoot, just through that contact between seed and soil. Okay, get the moisture in, puff that seed up and get it going. Okay, once it starts to get up after a few days, probably 5 or 6 days, we'll bring that little irrigator down here at the school and start to irrigate and make sure that we've got a really good covering. What we'll do then is we'll take another video for you to show how that germination's going. When we get to that tillering stage, we'll be able to talk about how the grass or the oat seed which we'll be planting has changed its system and changing to try and adapt to the soil type. Okay, we'll see different sorts of root systems being developed. We'll see different tillers. Hopefully we see plenty of those tillers coming out, nice thick crop of oats, because the more oats we can get now is the more feed we're going to have for those cattle later in the year. So that's the fundamental principle of why we're doing it. I just thought we'd come down and show you guys how the soils look, how we've prepared it, and then this afternoon when Chris and I come down, we'll be able to take a video of us planting the oats and hopefully get a really good idea of our yields and work out how much urea and nitrogen we'll be putting on to make sure we get a really good coverage of grass here. So guys, that's all from me. Just another quick video to give a demonstration of what you're missing out on here in class. Hopefully again guys, you're all staying safe and enjoy till you come back.